This is Catherine Isabel, and you're listening to the Knife Party podcast. I hope you enjoy it, because I don't.
Groovy.
Hello. Welcome to another edition of the Knife Party podcast, where we leave it all on the cutting room floor. I'm, of course, your illustrious host, Zach Evergreen, and joining with me today, in my best Batman voice, is Antonius Montana. Swear to me. Swear to me.
I swear, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, you're good to go. And today we're talking Natural Born Killers, or as Jonathan Fallon from Hoodcast AF would say, Natural Born Kylers. I don't know why, but he always calls it Kylers. But before we get into that...
Words are hard.
They are, aren't they? Before we get into that, we're actually going to take care of some of our bills, and that's at, well, you know, the show is brought to you by you, our Patreons, patreon.com/knifepartypod. For only $5, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids to feed. You get not only this show, you get our bonus episodes, such as Night Party After Dark, or... After Dark. We need to do one, because I've been doing it with a lot of other people, but we need to officially do one soon.
Yeah.
But we'll work on that when time permits. We also have Slimek Radio X. It's our X show. If you're fortunate enough to catch me at Father Heal, you could be a part of the show. But if not, you have to go to our Patreon. And, you know, that way you can listen to it. And we also have, if you like pro wrestling and video games, of course, Midnight Ramen, which is a fun show, and we just talk about nerdy stuff. Just a bunch of nerds being nerdy. But yeah, we also have other elongated versions and copyright infringement stuff. And it's not that we steal stuff. It's sometimes we use music and stuff when we get pulled from YouTube or we get pulled from Podbean. Very rarely, but it happens. And so
we're borrowing.
Yeah. So you get like double the episodes. So there you go. And it has a very unique app. It's fun to use, and it's really cool. And also, you could upgrade to $20 a month, and that gets you sweet quarterly merchandise. It also gets you the ability to what we call stop the bike, meaning we have to stop what we're doing and cover a show. And that just happened recently, and we might be going to a college reunion. I already teased that last episode, but there you go. One of our members did, in fact, do that. And when you stop the bike, you can also be on the show as a guest, and we will work around your schedule to make sure that your voice is heard. And if you don't want to be on it and you just want to hear us talk about it, there's that too. And if you have a business such as Caps and Cork on the borderlands of Vallejo, California and Napa, California, if you're sick of fentanyl and the lack of police force in Vallejo, you're sick of the sturdiness and too much highway patrol of Napa, you go to Caps and Cork, because it's right there at Rancho Square, and they have the best micro beer selection per square foot. They're bilingual, and there's 0 lines, and they are cool dudes with beards, but they're not pretentious. And that's where we got our Hen House Brew Co. And that's also where we got our another version, our Hen House Conspiracy Theory Avian Flu. And it's very, very good. It's a delicious beer.
Very tasty.
And yeah, and they've been a sponsor from day one, and that's why we're talking about them. You could also email us at knifepartypod@yahoo.com, because we keep it old school. And of course, at Father Heal, spelled like your foot. And that is our advertisements.
Yay!
All right. So Natural Born Killers. I don't have notes for this. So we're going to start with the, not IMDb, but a Rotten Tomatoes, because Rotten Tomatoes actually did you know that we're actually, on Rotten Tomatoes, we are actually now official critics. We can actually
rate.
Yes.
That's cool.
I think it's because we've been around so long, but I actually get emails and stuff from them. So that's neat. Gets us a little, we got the Twitter check mark, and now we got the Rotten Tomatoes check mark. So
yeah, that's
cool.
Huge.
So starting from the top, 51 tomato meter, 81 popcorn meter.
Yeah, thank you.
What would you give?
A lot better.
What would you give this?
Yeah, probably like 80. Be solid.
80. Okay. I've only seen the theatrical version 3 times.
Yeah.
So the version I always rock with and I think I have it here, unless I put it away. Maybe I did. I probably did. It doesn't matter. I've always watched the director's cut. So I bought the director's cut back in the day when I was with my first fiance, and I got it at Best Buy for like $5.99 in a bargain bin.
Yeah.
But it was one of the cool DVDs that had the commentary, the preview, it came with everything.
Everything, yeah.
But it came in just a generic looking box.
Yeah.
But it was very psychedelic. So it wasn't the cover that we all know and love, the white cover with the red glasses. It's actually that cover up there that you see
with the couple.
Where you see the couple, and it's got a psychedelic flower in the back, and it says Natural Born Killers in like Austin Powers writing.
Yeah.
And it says director's cut. So the normal version of this movie's runtime is, I think, like 2 hours or something. Let me take a look.
Yeah, a little over 2 hours.
Let's see. 1 hour and 59 minutes, exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The director's cut is about 2 hours 45 minutes.
Holy
it's
moly.
pretty long.
Yeah. I mean, it is Oliver Stone, so that makes sense.
And I did, when this fiance and I were breaking up, I remember one time we lived in the same condo, but we slept in separate rooms, which is that means that shit's not going right. Now, when you're married, it's different, because that just means you need space.
Yeah.
But when you're in your 20s, something's
It's
not
weird, yeah.
So this is kind of where I started getting back into movies, was when I was with her, because it just, like, her life was smoking weed, her job, and hanging out with her friends, and which wasn't a good decision on all three of those. Mine was my job, hanging out with my nerd friends at the time.
Yeah.
I live in Novato, and I was part of like a Magic Card club. I was part of a D&D club, and I just was watching all these like movies, and there was no podcast at the time. This was like the year 2006, 2007.
Yeah.
I remember Oblivion just came out, and I'd just be playing that till like 4 a.m. and stuff, because like she was, doing other shit. And anyway, but this was one of when I started recollecting DVDs again. This was one of the first, because the Best Buy Novato actually had the best deals, because if something didn't move, they wouldn't ship it back to the distributor. They would just put it in a bargain bin.
Right.
So I would stop, and it was on my way home from work, so I'd stop there a lot. And this is like one of the first ones. They were like $5.99, $9.99, and they would have like really cool deals on movies. So I bought this one. It's a lot longer.
Yeah, it is.
And I remember one day she fell asleep. She was stoned out of her gourd, and I was like 3 beers deep. I got from Moylan's. I love Moylan's. They're not a sponsor, but shout out, in Novato, California. And I watched this all the way through with the commentary.
Oh, yeah.
Oliver Stone actually did the whole commentary for the whole movie, and I learned so much that I felt I didn't need to take notes.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff you can find about here, but that commentary really, really, really like made this movie make more sense to me. And that's why I'm giving it a higher rating, because I would give this a solid 80, but after watching, the director's cut and hearing like why this movie is the way it is, I give it a little bit more points for effort, art, and story. So that's my story about when I first saw this though in 95, and I saw this right after I saw Pulp Fiction. And there's a funny thing about these two movies, but we're going to get into in a second. When did you first see this?
I didn't see it till like late 90s, early 2000s sort of thing. I was a little older. Yeah, as well. It wasn't like allowed in my house, so
I could see why.
Yeah.
I could definitely see why. This is a very hard R.
Yeah.
Not so much for boobies and stuff, but it is like a very adult movie.
Yeah, very much so.
What were your first impressions when you saw? Were you like, "This is the greatest"? Because when I saw this with Jonathan, and he was like, "This is the greatest fucking. This blows Pulp Fiction out of the water." Because I was always loving Pulp Fiction. Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, this is the new Pulp Fiction." That's what he kept saying. It was like the new Tarantino, not knowing,
right,
what we know now.
Yeah.
So,
I definitely kind of. It was definitely like it. It was a lot to take in. It was phenomenal, but my brain, I think, was having a hard time back then, just like understanding what I just watched.
First impressions.
Yeah.
Okay, so rewatching it now, you said you haven't seen this in 10 years, about?
Easily 10 years, yeah.
I haven't seen this in 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. So I saw this right before COVID.
Oh,
right
okay.
before COVID. And it holds up.
Yes.
It does not.
It holds up
and it
a
holds,
lot, yeah.
And it holds no punches. So that's our first impressions. Let's go ahead and go through our little thing here on Rotten Tomatoes. So do you want to round to an 85?
That sounds phenomenal.
Cool. And one day you should I'll definitely let you borrow the director's cut, and you might even raise your score. So real quick, plot synopsis is there's a couple named Mickey, Mallory, and Knox, and they are going on a Bonnie and Clyde style killing spree for reasons unknown. But there is reasons.
There is reasons.
And that's kind of, and then anyway, they finally get caught, and then there's a prison escape.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the end of the movie. So it's their journey from abuse to killing spree. They have an awakening, and they then through circumstances they get busted, and then they break out of jail and they become new people.
Kind of, yeah.
So it's and there's a reason why this. So anyway, directed by Oliver Stone, written by Quinten Tarantino.
Yeah.
And I think I brought this up on one of our episodes. I believe the script, I have it in our Dust Till Dawn. So if I misquote it, forgive me. But I believe the script sold for $3,000.
Oh, wow.
I believe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I know it was under 10 and it wasn't 5.
Right.
So it was either 1, 2, or 3, something like that.
Yeah.
But Oliver Stone bought the script, totally added his own shit into it.
Oh, of course.
And Tarantino hates what he did.
Yeah.
So there's actually 3 movies of this. There is the Oliver Stone version, or the theatrical version, rather.
Yeah.
There's the director's cut.
Yeah.
And then there's Quentin Tarantino's real version of it, which we have yet to see, but he keeps teasing it that it's going to be maybe his last movie. He's hinted at it before.
Yeah.
He's never said he's going to do it, but he said, I wish I could have done it, and, time will tell.
Yeah.
Now, real quick on that, the cast of characters that Tarantino always uses.
Right.
You're the casting director right now. Using only Tarantino people, who do you think should have played Mickey?
I don't know. Maybe like Tim Roth?
Tim Roth would work. I was actually thinking Michael Madsen.
Yeah.
I think. Who do you think? But Juliette Lewis is in his movies, so.
Yeah, Juliette Lewis, I think, was great in her part.
I think Margot from The Substance, and also she's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, would be a better Mallory.
Like now?
Yeah. Yeah. No, if we're going to do it now.
Yeah, she's definitely the way to go on that.
Okay, Wayne Gale, Robert Downey Jr. This has a great cast, by the way. Everyone is perfectly
Everyone's
cast.
huge, yeah. Honestly, I would just want to see him brought back. Robert Downey Jr. just playing that character again.
Tommy Lee Jones' character is great as Dwight McCready, who plays the warden. However, that would be a great place because you got to put him in every movie that Tarantino does. Either Keitel.
Oh, Keitel for sure.
Sure, right?
Yeah.
Or Sam Jackson.
No, Keitel.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
All right, so Tom Sizemore plays Jack Scagnetti.
Yeah.
He would be a good Jackson then.
No, that's why I'd want Madsen.
Ooh, you know what's funny? When I first watched this,
I
thought they were the same guy.
Yeah, that was like a weird thing back in the day. People got him confused.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, then, yeah. You know what? How about this then? Have Woody Harrelson's character, Mickey, be played by Brad Pitt. Well, he's charming, charismatic, and there's some darkness there.
Interesting. I would almost want Woody Harrelson's character to just be Woody Harrelson again. Like,
what about Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh.
Indeed.
I don't know. Yeah.
Where would you put Christoph Waltz, though?
I don't. Yeah.
Anyway, fun thing to think about. You could dwell on that. So anyway,
yeah, there's so I'm like, who? Wait.
So this has got a loaded cast, right? And now at the time, though,
you could have Kurt Russell, because he's kind of a newer one as the dad, instead of Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, that would have been kill the fucking Indian. That would have been cool. So this was a loaded cast, but at the time they weren't loaded. Like Woody Harrelson only did, when he was cast for this, had only did Cheers and White Men. That's it.
Yeah,
he's never did any other movie before this movie.
That's wild,
isn't it?
Because his performance is like this. I guess is what made him what he is today. Because like this movie, holy crap, he was that character. He was freaking Mickey.
So get this: Oliver Stone met with Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
And he said, why me? And he goes, you have this weird smile, and your eyes are always dancing and moving around. And he goes, serial killers have that. A smile and dancing eyes.
Yeah.
Like you can't make eye contact for too long. You have to kind of move them around. And the funny thing about that is Woody Harrelson's father, you know this fact, right?
Yeah.
Is a real contract killer.
Yeah.
I believe his name is Charles Harrelson. I'm gonna Google that real quick. Let's see. Hold on. Give me a second. Here, filibuster for a second while I do that.
Yeah, just the cast overall. Yeah, like the character, the actors played the characters really, really well. Like Tom Sizemore's character,
so good.
It's so good, but he's like super creepy and. He could tell, like, obviously he idolizes them.
Yeah,
and like that part of them.
Especially Mallory.
Like, yeah.
Like the scene with Pinky. By the way, how cute was Pinky? No, she's just like, I don't even want to have sex with her. You just want to like kind of stroke her hair and like, you know, she kind of reminds me of a excuse me.
Oh, wow.
Sorry. What? I had a sneeze.
Yeah.
The scene, the Corvette scene, the investigation.
Yeah.
When he's like, isn't that the perfect ass? And he goes, there you are. And he gets the pube and he goes, Stagnetti, meet Mallory Knox. That scene. And then when he goes into the jail cell later to interrogate her, and he's like, squeeze my nipples. Was that in the theatrical version?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really long.
She's like, wow, you're like hard specific.
Yeah.
And like, da-da-da. It was like, it's a trap. It's a trap.
It's a trap. Yeah. But the thing about Stagnetti is he thinks he's like them because he committed one murder and he's obsessed with them. And like his character is almost as deep. In fact, probably more so than... Probably not as much as Mickey... Or sorry, Mallory, rather, but more than Mickey. I think he's got more pathos, backstory to him, if you will.
Really?
Now,
I mean, yeah, because Mickey doesn't really have a lot of backstory.
There is in the director's cut. I'm going to get to that. So I was right. It is Charles Harrelson, who was a contract killer, and he finally got pinched because he shot a grain dealer.
Okay.
That was non-union or whatever. Mm-hmm. He was in the mafia, and he actually, to his death day, said that he was the one that pulled the trigger that killed Kennedy.
Oh. Wow.
He said, I was the rifle behind the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
He said, that was me.
I mean, the age probably lines up for it, too. Like,
now, here's another thing that puts us to... Is the comedian from Watchmen based off him? Because they look alike as well.
Oh, yeah, because that was the thing. He was the grassy knoll.
But anyway, yeah, so Charles Harrelson was a real contract killer, and he had, that we know of, he killed 5 people, and they were all...
Yeah, okay. Only 5. Sure.
And they were all contract kills. They weren't like, he wasn't a serial killer.
No.
He was a contract killer.
Yeah.
For the unions. Woody Harrelson never mentioned this shit to Oliver Stone, but Oliver Stone just knew. He goes, there's violence and murder in your background, isn't there?
Yeah.
Now, it's weird because Oliver Stone, I'm not going to say he's psychic or whatever, but he's very empathic because he was always on hallucinogens.
Ah.
Fun fact in this movie, the shrooms they're taking, real.
Oh.
Woody Harrelson and Oliver Stone would take mushrooms and rewrite the script after between shoots. All the time.
What the hell?
All the time. All the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then the use of color is very hallucinogenic too. Like, so you notice when
or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof. Yeah. So notice in the beginning of the movie. All right, we're gonna kind of walk through this. It's gonna be weird. There's really no other way to handle this movie, right? And we're not gonna play a trailer. You can go look it up. The trailer doesn't even do this movie's justice. Maybe I'll play it at the end. Who knows? It doesn't really do the movie justice. We're just going to get into it because this is a big, big sandwich, and it needs to be cut. This is not a foot long. This is like a party sandwich that you need to cut up. Okay, so let's just start from the beginning. When we see Woody Harrelson, right? He's wearing all white, with the red sunglasses, and he's clean.
Yeah.
But what's the thing he does? He's sitting at the diner and he orders a key lime pie. Now, do you notice that they color enhance that key lime pie?
Yeah.
And then
that tone of green is prominent throughout the whole movie.
So when we see that tone of green, we're looking through his mind.
Yeah.
So Mallory goes over the jukebox and we see the same green on the bubbles in the liquid of the jukebox.
Yeah.
You notice that? And that's you flirting with me, beep beep, and it plays shit. Oh, by the way, the soundtrack on this is fucking amazing.
Yes, one of the best.
Shout out to Trent Reznor, who actually did the score.
Oh.
And picked out all the music for this movie.
Yeah. This is why he's one of the best.
And the soundtrack is stacked. I don't know if you've ever heard it all the way through, but it's got Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Marilyn Manson, 9 Inch Nails, Tom Waits.
Ministry.
Right?
Yeah.
This has got a stacked soundtrack.
Yeah.
Really, really great. I think the soundtrack is 17 tracks, and it's something like an hour and 12 minutes long. It's really good.
Yeah.
And then he used A Warm Place as part of the score. That A Warm Place is the first song on side B of Downward Spiral.
Okay.
He does different versions of that, and then also too Something I Can Never Have. He does a different piano version of that. So really cool anyway, yeah, the soundtrack's awesome. It totally fits with the movie. So anyway, whenever we are in his mind, it's either black and white or green.
Yeah.
So like during the snake bite scene, right, and he's trying to get the snake bite juice.
Yeah.
It's all in that like poison green. It's not because they got bit by rattlesnakes. It's because his mind is poison.
Yeah.
Now whenever we're seeing Mallory's mind, it's all that horror shit. Like, remember, there's the headless guy that stands up.
Yeah.
And then you'll see Mickey's face, and it says like monster, and he's wearing glass, and there's blood everywhere. Because that's her thing. Because she has this weird thing with her dad. Because her dad used to like abuse her.
Yeah.
And so she sees men as a threat, including Mickey.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's the reason why she's killing all these people, is to like put herself on that level. Then you have Stagnetti, who wants to be both of them. So when you see Stagnetti, it's always that weird filter where the camera is tilted.
Oh, okay.
And it's in slow motion a lot of times.
Yeah.
Right?
Like he's hanging on every word, every motion that they have.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And then when Stagnetti tells his story to the warden about the clock tower shooting in Texas,
and his mom
boom,
and everything.
Chest explodes.
Yeah.
So, and he goes, and then I became obsessed with serial killers. So you have all this, and then you have Wayne Gale, and whenever we see Wayne Gale, there's always a camera. So it's always that 90s footage, right? So everyone in this movie has their own color palette. Every character.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. That has never been done in a movie, if you think about it, where every character has a different way of filming it.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's where, like, every single one has got a different color palette, and, use of color is great in this. So it's because they were all on fucking mushrooms constantly when they were filming this shit. They actually, I forgot, but no, it's when I was watching the commentary, he goes, oh, yeah, we are on so many different mainly mushrooms, with so many psychedelics because we wanted to send a message about what you're doing right now is causing this, and that's watching media.
Yeah.
This movie is actually a warning about television.
Yeah.
About media. Whether it be, Rodney Dangerfield watching pro wrestling and being kind of racist.
Yeah.
Whether it be, like when they're driving and you see the Godzilla flick in the background.
Right.
But mainly when you see Wayne Gale and people praising Mickey and Mallory Knox.
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing is this movie kind of predicted the future, and I don't want to go political here, but the Luigi Mannioni guy who killed the healthcare guy?
Yes. Yeah.
People are fucking praising him on the left.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, right on. You're like, yeah, more people. First off, that dude wasn't poor. He was very rich. Second off, he didn't have a health condition. He just wanted to kill somebody and make a statement.
Yeah.
And this movie was warning about that shit.
Yeah.
And it was warning you about social media before social media was even a fucking thing.
Yeah. And how it could be used to manipulate.
Now, the other thing I will say is, when I watched this movie last for this review, I was, in fact, very high on mushrooms. This might be the scariest yet awesomest movie to watch when you're shrooming balls. It is very...
especially with all the image flashes and stuff like that go on.
Yeah. Now, when you see Woody Harrelson's character as a child, and it's all in black and white, and it's like your father, and he gets slapped and stuff like that. So all that shit was added in because when they found out about Woody Harrelson's stuff, they were like, oh, let's use real life in this movie.
Oh, devious. Like, that's a move that could end up having your actor walk,
And remember Rorschach, also from Watchmen.
Yeah.
Remember his mom was a prostitute, and
Right.
his dad was an alcoholic, and beat him. There's so much weird stuff from Watchmen in this movie. Like, I swear to God, like Watchmen is a comic book. Even though this movie is kind of comic booky, in fact, there's comic book scenes in it. Anyway, so cutting then to... So they go on their killing spree, everything else, they get married. But first, Mickey saves Mallory from her abusive father. It's all filmed in black and white, but it's done like a sitcom with even a laugh track.
Yeah, which made it super creepy.
Way more creepy.
Yeah.
And he's delivering beef, and he's like, well, I got all this meat, da-da-da, and then it's like spilling all over the place. But it cuts to like a very Young and the Restless soap opera type scene, and then it cuts back to the television. And it even shows a credit roll at the end of that.
Yeah.
So he saves her. They tie the mother down, burn her alive.
Yeah.
Save the kid, or not save him, but set him free.
Yeah.
Who's got Kiss makeup on, which is hilarious. Gene Simmons, rather. And then they go on their little spree. So this movie does jump around a little bit. But the real thing kind of happens when Mickey wants to start taking hostages and fucking them and stuff like that. And that's when she gets jealous, and that's when she gets careless, and that's when Stagnetti kind of gets on the trail.
Yep.
And then, they run out of gas. They go to an Indian reservation, I believe, or at least private property.
Yeah.
And that's when I think the Indians dose them with peyote.
I don't know. Like, I think they willingly did it.
But he's talking to the kid. The shaman is talking to his grandson, and you just see like too much TV. Media is ruining it, and you see it like on them, and it's really
It looks like a projector. Yeah.
And it's really creepy, and it's like, and it's just killer, like it's like tattooed on his face. And then he's like, can you help him, grandfather? And he goes, I will do my best. And then the grandfather tells a story of the snake.
Yeah.
Where a woman sees a snake that's frozen in the snow, and he nurses it back to health. Or she nurses it back to health, and then it bites her, and while she's dying, she goes, "Why'd you do this to me?" And he goes, "Bitch, you knew I was a snake."
Yeah.
But yet he's the woman trying to help the two snakes.
Yeah.
Which is even during their wedding, when they get married and you see their blood connect, it turns into two snakes.
Yeah.
Which also is a symbol when they go into the to get the snake bite juice. Did you notice that?
Oh, no, I didn't notice that.
It has the two snakes on it.
Okay.
And they get bitten by snakes.
Snakes, yeah.
So
and that's like his tattoo, and he's like, yeah, this is like my motto,
and
my
even the ring.
Yeah, intertwined snakes. Yeah.
Their wedding ring. He goes, "I don't care if it rips off every hair of your goddamn head. You do not take that ring off." So there's that. Anyway, he kills the Indian. Mallory is really upset. Then they go to jail because they get busted trying to get the snake bite juice, and they, you know, fun fact, by the way, you know, when she's getting taken hostage and Stagnity goes, "I'm going to cut her tits off."
Yeah.
He actually cut her.
Oh, that slice under there?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He got a little overzealous.
Oh.
It was, even though it was supposed to be a prop knife, like the point still...
It still cut through, obviously. Yeah.
And also when Mickey comes out and he goes, "All right, come get the big bad wolf," and they beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
The girl cop with the ponytail, she was the #1 female kickboxer at the time, and she actually broke his ribs.
What?
Yeah. Because he goes, "Don't hold back now. Make it look good."
Yeah.
She actually broke it. Like when you rewatch it.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. They cut away from that pretty quick, probably because, yeah.
More fun facts. When they're in jail, everybody, besides the real actors, and the two cops, you know, that was like, "We're going to kill this son of a bitch." That was actually filmed in a real prison. I don't know which one it was.
What?
All the extras were actual inmates.
Prisoners, yeah.
And when they rush Tommy Lee Jones, you see that oh shit face? Because he wasn't sure, and and Oliver Stone wasn't sure if we can actually protect him.
Yeah. Like,
so when he's climbing up, he's actually climbing for his
he starts
life.
macing them and everything.
But apparently they took care of him, and they made sure that all the prisoners, like, "Hey, you're going to get really good behavior and everything else. If you know, we're going to treat you well. You're going to get good commissary." Yeah. Because I think they gave him each like at the time it was either $50 or $100 in commissary, which is a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you know, you just got to. And so that whole riot scene, every extra, no actors except for one, Will. Remember, Mickey, Mallory, come this way with the shotguns.
Oh, yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, because I don't know if he's credited, but was that not Kevin Spacey?
No, that wasn't Kevin Spacey.
It looked just like him.
He looks very similar. I don't remember his name, but I know I've seen him in a bunch of other stuff. Like, he's definitely a known actor for sure.
Yeah, he's not credited here, though. I'm not seeing anything credited, but he was... Anyway, he is their id. What I mean is, if you actually watch the commentary of this movie, no one interacts with him.
Ever.
He's a part of Mickey's imagination.
Well, because he's at the diner in the beginning. He's sitting in the background.
Boom. You got it. You nailed it. You fucking nailed it. Yeah. He's a part of their... He's the love beats the demon.
He's love.
He's love.
Wow.
So, and the demon turns out to be Wayne Gale, who's in charge of the media spreading the murder and the darkness around. So he's like, that's why it's got to end with you.
Yeah.
And Robert Downey Jr. kills it in this, by the way.
He's phenomenal.
This is the first movie ever where I was a huge... Like, I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Because I'd never seen him before. I mean, I've seen him before, but not like this.
No.
Like, where he's using his real accent, because we never hear him use his real accent.
Right.
Because he is Australian, am I right?
I have no idea.
I think he is.
He does it amazingly.
Anyway, regardless, yeah. So that is the id, the dosis machina, if you will. All right, I went on long enough about my fun facts and all my stuff. Give me some of your shit. Get your shit in. What do you think about this movie? What's your favorite scenes, favorite kills, etc., favorite moments?
I mean, for me, like, yeah, this movie, it has so much. I love the like flash art and like comic book and the different, like, in her head where it's like Robert Downey Jr.'s devil, or this other person is like a zombie or blah blah blah, like all the different monsters, she's trying to kill, and just those flashpoints, and it's just insane, like how long they were able to go around and do all that. There's like the gun store massacre, and they're like reading body counts and this and that. It was like, holy crap, they're up to like 80 people, and then they go and it's like, well, he just murdered another 9, so now they're at 9. It was like, how many people did they kill during this whole like spree and everything? Like over 100 people. Like,
oh, real quick, we got a speaker, one of our Matreons, Nikki. What's going on?
Here to pop in, say hi to the 2 cool people.
Oh, cool. We're talking natural born Kylers, and yeah, so I just did all my fun facts. I took 30 fucking minutes doing it. Have you seen this movie recently?
It has been many, many years.
Or, as they say in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, many moons. Many, many moons. Come on, Chief running at the mouth.
So bad.
The opening scene in this movie,
the diner,
sets the tone of this movie, and you could tell that the opening scene, they probably kept it exactly to Tarantino's script, because it seems like Tarantino loves diners, and it really does seem like he kept it like that was probably the one thing they kept all the way through.
I mean, for me, like watching this movie all the way through again, like I haven't seen the second Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, but I've read about it, and like I feel like what they were trying to do is what this movie is, and like they failed at it.
Yeah, I would. I know that the Joker movie, it's kind of like in his head, and like it's a musical, but it's not a musical. It's just because he's insane. I probably agree with you on that, because this movie probably has one of the most bombastic, explosive endings that involves like this is Arkham Asylum type of like rioting. Right? I mean, like you see, especially the director's cut, you see like cops on fire and they're being hung.
Oh my god!
There's a scene where there's like a bunch of them just hanging by by bed sheets and stuff. Dude, the director's cut's pretty brutal.
Yeah. Were there any scenes that still like stick out of your mind, Nikki?
Oh, sorry, my bad, Nikki. Sorry. My button is sticking. Sorry about that, Nikki. Rephrasing question. Any cool scenes that you remember from this movie? I know it's been a minute.
I don't remember it, honestly.
Oh,
you gotta rewatch.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
This is, by the way, this is one of those movies when you haven't seen it in a while. It's interesting because you remember the plot, because the plot is kind of like
it's very straightforward.
It's very straightforward. Yeah. But there's a B plot and a C plot, you know, because you have the Stagnetti plot line that you probably totally forgot about.
Yeah.
The Indian shaman plot that takes up a good chunk of the movie.
It does, yeah.
Because this movie is kind of in like 4 acts.
We could have Salma Hayek as the new shaman.
I'm not complaining. No, I don't want to get her shot though. I don't want her to get shot. No, have that. See, that's where motherfucker. He should be. No, you know what? Even better. Have bald ass fucking. Oh God. Why did I forget? John Travolta. Have him play the shaman. You know, he'll do Scientology.
A white dude as a shaman.
No,
okay.
He'll do Scientology. He'll have him hold the cans. You know, he's like, you guys need Scientology. He'll save you.
I mean, you could have Sam Jackson as a shaman. He's doing like voodoo stuff instead of the Native American.
True.
That would be pretty cool.
Can we just get King Willie? Is he still alive? Can we get King Willie? I know when they come calling. I don't know where he is.
Mickey boy.
The spirit world now. From the other side. I love King Willie.
They don't have TV.
No, they don't. Okay, what about the cartooning? I mean, I know you were saying but the cartooniness where they make violence funny, do you think it's too over the top, right on the nose, or
I mean, for what they're trying to say about TV and everything like that, I think it's right on the nose.
Because a lot of people said
it's glorified, and it's made to be kind of comical, so you don't really think about it.
That's the main complaint when you look at the critic scores reviews.
Yeah?
They said that it glorifies violence and makes it a cartoon show, which I'm like...
You missed the point of the movie.
That's what
That's literally all it is. You just missed the point. That's like calling Blazing Saddles a racist movie. And it's like you missed the point of what it was doing.
Blazing Saddles is hilarious because
it's making fun of.
It's supposed to be like we're gonna make them. I think when they were making Blazing Saddles, they were like, we're making a movie that will not be able to be made next year, let alone the next 20.
Yeah,
this movie is kind of in the same way. There's never going to be, unless Tarantino actually does it himself. There's no way a movie like this would ever get remade.
No, Tarantino is probably the only person they will greenlight to make a movie like this.
And in fact, this movie has a lot of similarities, believe it or not, to me. Well, not only Watchmen, but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Because they both have really gratuitous violence scenes.
Yeah.
It's also making fun of movies and media and everything else.
Right.
The only difference is one takes place in the 90s and one takes place in the 70s. And there's both a lot of drug use. There's like a lot of kind of... It almost seems like Tarantino wanted to redo it and wrote Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But he said that was a love letter to where he grew up and Grindhouse and everything else like that.
Okay.
But, I mean, you know this. If you write a good song or a good story and it doesn't get picked up, you'll take those ideas and morph it into something else.
Yeah.
That, I mean, like I do it all the time. If I have a great idea and it doesn't take off, I'll work it somewhere into something.
Yeah.
You know?
So if he remade this, if he decided to do it in a Grindhouse style, how would you feel about that?
I mean, so like all the camera effects and stuff are done Grindhouse style?
Yeah. Like the murders, like people getting shot is just kind of over the top, like...
Now, here's the problem. That is a great question.
Yeah.
Here's my answer, though. If Tarantino's going to have a chip on his shoulder and try to out Oliver Stone,
yeah,
and he's going to go, I'm going to make this a 4-hour epic thing.
That's going to suck.
But if he does a Grindhouse series, like a 4-episode series, each an hour long, like straight to Netflix, because that's what Hateful Eight. A lot of people don't know this. Before it aired in theaters, it was a 4-part series on Netflix, and it was buried. Like, it wouldn't come up what's new and hot. You actually had to find it.
Oh, really?
I thought I told you about this.
I mean, you may have, but, you know.
So that movie was on Netflix as like a tester.
Yeah.
And I don't think it said Tarantino. It maybe said written by Tarantino.
Yeah.
But it was a 4-episode series, so that's why when you watch Hateful Eight, it goes like part 1, part 2, part 3. It was actually and if you watch the director's cut, it is actually the 4-part series, and then Netflix re-released it, but it actually came out right after it came out of theaters, like 2 weeks after. It was on Netflix, but it was buried. You would have to actually look for it.
Right.
You would have to spell Hateful Eight, like exactly, and then it would come up. If you're saying he's going to do a Grindhouse version, I think he's going to try to out Oliver Stone. I don't want that. If he does it as a 4-part miniseries, like part 1 is part 1 of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Act 2 is the meeting of Mickey and Mallory, the past. Part 3 is meeting with the shaman Indian and the drugstore incident. And then part 4 is the escape from jail.
Yeah.
Boom, I'm in. Let's fucking do it. Give me more gore.
Yeah.
And less Oliver Stone weirdness. Make it more straightforward. Maybe a little bit more gunplay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You know, like if you're gonna do it satire-ish, do it like, because I loved Grindhouse, especially Planet Terror. Like Planet Terror is so, and the machete thing. Even though I didn't like the movie Machete, I thought it was.
I mean, it was good for a Grindhouse style, like.
But the trailer was almost better than the movie. You know, I mean.
But what about Machete Kills?
No, that's what I'm talking about.
No,
Machete and Machete Kills are two separate things.
Oh, you mean Machete Kills is the one with my guy, Patriot, Braveheart, Mel Gibson, right?
Yes, that's the second one.
Okay. I like Machete Kills because it was like Jason X, where it was just so off the wall.
Yeah.
It didn't even matter. So, no, No, but I would think that if you were to do this as a 4-part series and do it very grindhousey, I think it would work.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think we got to wrap it up because...
No, we're good.
Oh, we're good. We're
good.
So now we're talking about Tarantino were to make this better. Now, the version I watched is like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something. The one you watched was the theatrical. How would you edit this? What would you do to make it better? How do we give this a 90? Because right now we're giving it 85.
Yeah. I don't know, kind of talking about it more and like some of the things I didn't know about. I'm like, I'm almost willing just to boost up the score just from knowing more of the background behind it.
I'm telling you,
like
the director's cut, it's I'm not saying life changing, not, but it's opinion changing.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like the only thing I'd really change is just a little bit of pacing. Like,
I'm with you.
Yeah, there's definitely a part where it's like, all right, this scene should have ended 30 seconds a minute ago. Like,
I think they reuse too many of the same shots. So, like, with Woody Harrelson as a little kid, they reuse that 3 or 4 times.
Right.
They don't need to do that.
No. You can just mention it. We already saw it. Our brains will put the two together.
Yeah, or do it like Mallory's Past, where you just have that one skit and boom,
it's done.
And it's
like,
done.
Yeah.
Don't need to revisit
There's like
it.
one, I think, quick flash later on, but it's a quick flash.
Them in the car driving around taking mushrooms, it's like, we get it. We don't need to see it over and over and over again. So I'm with you. I think this could have been edited better.
I mean, they did a great job of editing, but it just needs tightened. It just needs to be tightened a little bit.
I think that if you had Scagnetti doing some more creepy shit, even though he's super creepy already, but if you were actually to make because Scagnetti at the end is almost more of a bad guy than, I mean, you sympathize with Mickey Mallory more than you do with Scagnetti at the end. But if you were to make Scagnetti, when he gets his comeuppance, more impactful... Oh, by the way, Scagnetti's comeuppance, what do you think about that?
Oh, I thought that was awesome.
It's great. So they have a Mexican standoff where Scagnetti's sitting there. He's got his gun. Mallory has been maced and beat up really bad. Mickey's got a shotgun pointed at Scagnetti. Scagnetti's got like a fucking 45 pointed at him.
Yeah, freaking Desert Eagle.
And then finally, I think it's a 6 hour, actually, but it could be a Desert Eagle. It looks like a 6 hour, though, so it's not chromium enough. And then Mickey goes, all right, you got me. And then you just see Mallory, like, appear, like, serial killer status. And she fucking shanks him through the spine, out the neck.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there just bleeding and making gurgling noises as they have a make-out kiss section, and then the cowboy junkie Sweet Jane plays in the background. And then, to top it off, to make it even more like, what the fuck, overbooked bullshit, you have Robert Downey Jr. going, this kiss is, they said it would never happen, this kiss, they're the only 2 people in the world. They said it would never happen, and it's happening. Mickey and Mallory knocks them back together again. And then when he goes crazy, he's like, he calls his wife and he goes, fucking take everything, I'm alive for the first time. And he breaks his phone after he calls his Asian girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he just starts firing at cops like, okay, there. And Mickey goes up to him and goes, why don't you shoot with this? You're better aim with this than you are with that. Because he's just rolling around like,
it was so bad. Yeah.
I was fucking there. Oh, by the way, the assistant, his assistant is great. The girl with the short hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was just funny, and like she doesn't really have any lines, but she's fucking amazing too. I think you're right. I think the only thing this is missing is pacing. Juliette Lewis kind of is a little bit hard to deal with at times, but then
how so?
The whole "you stupid." I know it's important to the story,
right?
But the whole "you stupid bitch" scene. It's like one of the biggest bummers of the scene. I know it's part of the plot, but I know girls don't overreact like that normally. Normally, they're more passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Like her going out and cheating, that makes sense.
Yeah, that part definitely makes sense.
And wearing the wig and everything else, like, you want to fuck me? But when she's like, you stupid bitch, it's like, you sound like a child. You don't sound tough, and you don't sound like a lover. You're my fucking father, you know. You've been fucking loving, you've been fucking, all that shit. It's like, they're making her scene so vulnerable for this one scene, and then the next scene she's putting out a cigarette with her foot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, and stabbing people and being a badass and getting sprayed in the face. Like they just,
it kind of counter like who her character is supposed to be.
Because remember, Mickey's supposed to be that I'm the light and the dark, I'm the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
I'm the shadow. Remember, he does that. Oh, that scene is so
was
cool.
Good. Yeah.
By the way, one take, no script.
Oh.
That speech, he goes, I'm light and dark. I used to be like you, but I've evolved. That whole scene, one take.
Wow.
Like there was a script, they didn't follow it. They're just like,
just do it, just improv, just go.
Act like your dad.
Oh, that's terrible.
It worked. Hey,
it worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
I think you're right. They could never remake this because I don't think anyone's ever going to top Woody Harrelson because
he kind of has insider information.
I mean, I think that violence is genetic. Mm-hmm. I really do. Like, people that are prone to violence usually do it. That's why, like, boxers' kids become boxers. It's not just because I don't want to be daddy. It's also because it's like, oh, no, the kid's a killer.
Yeah.
You know, pro wrestling kids become pro athletes.
Yeah.
Usually following their I don't just think it's because of father's footsteps. I think it's like a genetic thing.
Right. There's something predisposed there.
Like if you look at like all the Indian tribes and stuff, it's like, man, those I wouldn't I wouldn't fuck with one. Like it's like I fuck with the German just because they have the accent. Even though they're killers, not really.
Not really.
They're really just good bookkeepers.
Yeah.
Not really killers necessarily.
Which like that's kind of a wild notion considering how like the movie ends. Sort of thing with the RV and all that.
Yeah, that's a cool ending.
Like, oh,
and they have kids. And that is a weird. But she says like we're gonna start a family and that. But here's the thing, though. This is a great question. What do you think happens? Do you think they actually just live clean, beat the demon, and they have kids and they just kind of cruise around? Or do you think they're still doing evil shit?
I mean, personally, I think that part is really just like in their heads.
I thought the same thing.
Like they're driving off in the car or whatever, and that's just like what they imagine is happening while they're driving through the desert. Like they're not actually in an RV. They don't actually have kids, but like that's just where they see themselves.
So here's another thing about the director's cut. You can hear a helicopter in the background, and the ending is a lot of conspiracy ending, film theories. They actually get shot down by the helicopter, and that's in their head while they're dying.
That's kind of dope.
Now you really want to rewatch this, don't you?
Kind of do, yeah.
It's amazing.
Let's bump this score up to 90. Let's just
we're in Crow status?
Natural Born 90.
All right, Natural Born. All right, it is Crow status.
Yeah.
Natural Born Killers is now officially Crow status.
Yeah.
Where would you rank this in your favorite Oliver Stone movies?
Oh.
So here, let me give you a
good question. Yeah, give me a list.
I'm going to give you the catalog.
All of them. Yeah.
Oliver Stone is obviously an awesome director. So we have let's see. Oh God, he's done so much. Midnight Express, Salvador, Reversal of Fortune, Platoon. Oh, Platoon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. The Joy Luck Club. I actually like that movie. I know that's weird.
Never seen it.
The People versus Larry Flint.
I've seen that once.
Born on the 4th of July, JFK, Talk Radio. Yep. I don't know if I could put this above Platoon, though.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't apparently seen as many Oliver Stone movies as I thought I had. This might be my top one.
I love Platoon so much, though. It's just Platoon is when people go, oh, it's all about Heart of Darkness, aka Apocalypse Now. I'm like, Platoon, hello.
Yeah.
And I even put, and I know this is sacrilege, I put Platoon so close above Full Metal Jacket because the first part of Full Metal Jacket is so good, it's untoppable, right? As a war movie, right?
Yeah.
But Platoon is right there.
They're like neck and neck. It's like really just depending how I feel that day is who's going to be number one.
But Charlie Sheen kills it. Oliver Stone kills it. Everyone's great in that movie.
Yeah, so many.
Yeah. But yeah, so damn. It's funny. This is one of those no notes movies, no intro movies. Now I'm not going to say there was no prep because this movie has existed in my wheelhouse of rewatching for so long.
Yeah.
And I've did deep dives on it when I and probably the only person that sat through the whole that I know that sat through the whole director's cut with commentary right after watching the movie. Well, actually, I made a night of it, dude. I watched the whole
12-hour day of Natural Born Killer.
Yeah, like 5 hours. Probably it was like watching The Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
It's like watching Return of the King watching
this is what we're doing today. Oh, you got extended. Oh, okay. That's what we're doing tomorrow, too.
I'm going to say, though, just because Platoon is so powerful and William Dafoe is so good.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm going to settle on the 90 with this, but we haven't done Platoon yet. But I'm pretty sure when I do Platoon, I'm going to give it a 92. Probably easy. But no, this is way better than a lot of. And I do like Joy Luck Club. It's a very interesting movie. It's about Asian family migrating. It's one of those movies you think it's a chick flick, but no, it's not. It's a very dramatic movie.
Yeah.
It's got prostitution, slavery, all this weird stuff.
Oh, wow.
I haven't seen it since I was 9 years old, but I remember seeing it as a 9-year-old going like, whoa, this movie's fucking intense.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe I was 9, maybe I was 11. Anyway, cool. So, Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
We did it.
Hell yeah.
And we recommend go watch. If you haven't watched it in a while, go watch it. If you haven't watched it in a while and haven't done mushrooms in a while, I recommend both. Because it's
Tripper beware.
It's very heavy.
It's very heavy.
And you will notice those colors
a lot. Yeah.
But cool. Hey, Nikki, thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to get out of here. He's got a concert to go to, and I have some bullshit to attend to. But thank you all for joining us here at the Night Party Podcast. Remember, be kind, rewind, be ethical to each other. I have some videos to return, and anything from you?
Thank you guys so much for listening. Nikki, thank you.
Bye, Nikki.
Bye.